on the history of the bluestone industry. This is something that is really unique to our area. Certainly a design element that I'm hoping that we can incorporate into our eventual design and renovation for sure. And I think that having one of our very own residents here to be able to talk about the history there will just be awesome. On Thursday at 11 a.m. in the Pack, you absolutely will not want to miss this event. We are bringing in Dr. Arthur DiNapoli, who is the Woodland Pond Medical Director, and Deborah Vining, who is our Woodland Pond Director of Nursing. We also call her Debbie. She will have with her Tanya Palizzi, who is our nurse educator. And the three will be giving a joint presentation on the end of life or advanced directives, including the completion of the MOLST form, the medical orders for life sustaining treatment. Dr. DiNapoli is going to explain what he explains to his patients when they are completing their MOLST form and things to consider about choosing different elections on that form. So when you're trying to make your decision about wanting to have CPR or resuscitation or not, and the different things that you should keep in mind and consider. And then Debbie and Tanya are going to be following that up by explaining in detail, and there may be some graphic elements to this, just fair warning, what actually occurs when CPR has to be initiated and what a code blue operation entails. From a nursing perspective, both have performed CPR in multiple situations in long-term care, and they will actually be demonstrating CPR on our resuscitation mannequins. So this is going to be extremely informative for you. It's our own people. They will be there to answer your questions, but this is really where you will have the opportunity to learn everything that there is to know about both sides of a rather sticky issue that many people are trying to deal with and make decisions on. Just to note, the Episcopal service that usually happens in the Path at 11 on those Thursdays will be meeting in the Health Center Great Room at 11:15. On Thursday at 2 p.m. in the Pack, another fantastic event brought to us by the Brain Health Group. They are going to be asking everyone to join the conversation about how to support loved ones as they are going through the transition into a memory care unit or through the dementia journey. So that's supporting caregivers in that regard, and that's brought to us by the Brain Health Group. And then on Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Pack, as part of our 15-year anniversary celebration, we are going to be re-airing the Woodland Pond featured episode of Peacock, the streaming channel's show Poker Face. This is the episode that was filmed here at Woodland Pond a couple of summers ago. We've aired it a few times since, but we will be re-airing that in honor of our 15-year anniversary. And you will be wanting to look out for your neighbors that were extras in that episode. Incidentally, Judith Light, who was the ensemble star of that particular episode, won an Emmy for her role in that specific episode that was filmed here. So that's pretty awesome. On Friday from 9 to 1 in the art studio, Dedrick's will be having their vaccination clinic. This is for flu shots, as far as I know. And please do make an appointment with Jean in Dedrick's and bring your insurance card so she can get you signed up. And on Friday night, we are doing our Dine Like It's 2009 event in the dining room. Again, as we heard yesterday at the Pioneer panel, which, side note, thank you so much to everybody that participated in that. It was really, really wonderful to hear your stories and to see everyone's engagement. But the menu will be like it was in 2009. The service style will be like it was in 2009, and that's a surprise. And there will be no reservations. So definitely come prepared and to be patient. And we will have a couple of modified diet options just because times have changed a bit. Gretch has also asked me to make sure that everyone understands and realizes that the display for the 15-year anniversary is changing each week in part. Some of the elements are staying, and then other elements are changing as weeks go by. So right now, they're updated to include memorabilia from 2015 to 2019, and then when we marked our 10-year anniversary. A couple other 15-year anniversary related items. Uh, Today is the last day that you can sign up if you plan to attend the gala, which is next Thursday, the 26th. Please do sign up with concierge if you do plan to attend that. We need to have our final head count by the end of the day today so that the dining team can order all of our tasty, tasty ingredients. The deadline to submit anything that you would like to have included in our time capsule, which is going to be buried in a ceremony on the 30th of September. The deadline to drop stuff off to concierge for the time capsule is next Monday, the 23rd. Please do make sure that you include your name and any incidental information that you want us to know when we put it into the time capsule. Today, you received an email asking a whole bunch of questions that are really cheeky and fun. And the responses that are coming in are really making me laugh. But the reason we're doing this, it's entitled Woodland Pond Superlatives, and it's in the spirit of doing superlatives or favorite quotes or things you want us to know about you, like you would have maybe for your high school yearbook. And it's totally optional. It's completely just for fun. And we have a surprise in store. So I do encourage everyone to enjoy that activity and share with us what you will. The only required question is just your name because the surprise requires names to be attached. The Sustainability Committee is going to be hosting an open house next Wednesday, the 25th, from 1:30 to 2:30 in the PAC. This is open to all residents, but especially welcoming to our newer residents that may not be completely familiar with all of the different task forces that SUSCOM has and all of the different activities that we're doing. It's a great opportunity for you to come and understand the various different endeavors that we have from a sustainability perspective and hopefully become interested maybe in one or more of those task forces because the issues surrounding sustainability, of course, will always need horsepower, will always need help. And it's something that we as a community, both from a management and a resident perspective, are very compelled by and very interested in. We are working right now with Timely Signs to create safety tip signs for our new trails. Thank you again to everyone that has blazed your first time on the new trails. I received so many compliments on the work that was done by our design team and the excavation company. We will be having opportunities for memorial bench purchases to be placed on the bench pads that are there. That will be more information will come from the benefit fund committee on that. But what's really important to us right now is that residents are familiar with the safety tips that we recommend related to the trail use. Tip sheets are available at concierge. They were also emailed out last weekend. And again, we're going to have these made into signs at the trailhead. Some of the most important things are you really should always go with someone else. It's safest to be sure that you do go with someone else, particularly for our health center residents. It's something we really actually consider a requirement. There's different information on the tip sheet related to which types of devices will work on the trails as tested by Jonathan Papan, our Director of Therapy and Rehabilitation. Things like wearing the appropriate footwear, possibly bringing walking sticks, and bringing your PERS alarm, your pendant, and bringing a cell phone with you and making sure that we know that you're going. Sort of basic information. We want everyone to be able to utilize the trails and utilize them safely. And so we're going to be putting those signs up at the trailheads as soon as we can get them in from Timely. We also have already received 2 other series of signs, which are either hung or posted already. One of which is our no smoking and no vaping on campus signs. And although we all are aware that this is a no smoking and no vaping campus because it's in our handbook and we talk about it at orientation and it's, something we know, it occurred to me that our visitors don't know that because it's not posted anywhere. So those will be posted. And as well, the Alternatives to Grass task force of SUSCOM is so happy to invite you to walk around the perimeter of the building and look at our 4 demonstration gardens, which are all now adorned with signs explaining what you're looking at. On the signs, you will see that there's a little black and white squiggly thing, which you may not be familiar with, or you may be because it's the same kind of thing that's on your table tents in the dining room, but it's a QR code. And that black and white image, if you take a picture of it with your cell phone, your smartphone, it's going to bring you to a website. And the website has much more detail about what you're looking at in that garden than we could fit on the sign. So each of those QR codes is distinct to that garden. The descriptions of what you see there were provided to us by our landscape architect that we worked with to design those gardens. And we thought this was the best way for you to be able to get right in the palm of your hands information about what you're looking at. Really trying to bring passion to the residents beyond just the Alternatives to Grass Committee so that you can understand what we're trying to do as we look at alternatives to grass. The last thing I wanted to talk about today is the fact that it's been almost a year since we had our massive emergency exercise drill with the state police, the local police, the Ulster County emergency management folks, fire department, ambulance rescue, all of you, your families, your loved ones. And it occurred to me, as we're seeing a lot of things on the news that are emergency related and lockdown related, that it's time for us to begin really emphasizing the expectations of what happens with staff and residents when there is a lockdown or an active shooter situation, and then to drill on it again. We will not drill on it to the extent that we did with all of those parties, but it is really important that as a community, we are regularly drilling on these things, not just for fire alarms, but also for an active shooter or active threat situation, which we also call a lockdown. Excuse me. In the coming weeks, you will be hearing from me and from others and seeing written materials about those expectations of what you should do in the event of an active shooter or a lockdown situation, how you will be notified, what you should be doing, and our safety tips based on all of the resources that are available, some of which are very specific to senior living. We learned an enormous amount last year. We instituted significant additional safety measures like our panic alarms at the front desks, the camera system, and so forth. We've really increased a lot of surveillance and security enhancements, but regardless of the situation, there will be a role each of us has to play. And we want to make sure that you're very aware of that. In the interim, you can certainly look at that section of your resident handbook to familiarize yourself, but please do know that this is going to be coming back into the forefront over the next couple of weeks, and it's coming from a place of desiring safety and readiness. That is all that I have for today. That has been a lot. You may want to watch this again so that you make sure you catch everything. We air again at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock on WPTV. And as always, this is available on our YouTube channel. Thanks so much and have a great day.